Good morning, everyone. This is Mark with Wear Parts, and with me today I've got Eric Derry, part of our customer care team. Eric, what we want to go over today is the planter seating discs, the seat openers for our Shortline manufacturers. Tell us a little bit about the blade, Eric. What makes it so unique?
All of these openers are going to be using the same style of blade, maybe come in different sizes, different thicknesses, but they all use the same heat treat process. It's a 3-zone heat treat. So on the inside, we start out with a 48 to 50 Rockwell C. That is typically the hardness of the competitor blades throughout the entire blade. So we're starting out with that softer material, has a little bit of give. It's going to be, we know that it's going to be able to withstand and not crack out around that bearing. Then as we move out to the center section, we're up in the hardness into the 50-55 range.
Okay.
That really makes it more durable, so it's gonna last. Has this part out here, so it doesn't have that flexibility. It's gonna be solid and be able to run true. Then when we get out to the final edge, right here on the edge, we're up in the hardness even more. We're going up to 55 to 58 Rockwell C.
Gotcha.
So it has a really super hard edge so that it's going to last a long time. It's not going to chip out. It's going to wear and stay sharp.
Stay sharp. Three things on that harder edge: longer wear, and it wears sharp, which helps with your cutting, and it actually withstands rocky conditions better. Oftentimes we get a question, with the harder edge, well, does that make it more brittle? Actually, no. It actually is able to not chip out as much when it's hitting when it's in rocky conditions or whatever.
Yeah, it's not going to have those divots and those rollovers like you can with a softer blade.
Gotcha. So Eric covered off the blade. The next thing we want to just touch on is the assembly process. Our assemblies, we get the components sourced in from different manufacturers, but we actually assemble in-house in Gothenburg. And this is part of our guaranteed true lineup. And what that means is that every blade that we assemble runs across a laser run-out test machine. And we have the lowest runouts in the industry. We set our parameters at 50 thousandths of wobble. So as a blade moves back and forth, anything that's 50 thousandths and under is good. Anything 50 and over does not go out the door, it's rejected. And then on your lope, where you've got the blade
On the eccentricity.
yes, eccentricity, our tolerances are 60 thousandths and down. So anything 60 thousandths and less is good. Over 60 thousandths does not ship out. It's actually, those parameters are roughly half of what several OEMs run for their tolerances. I know some of their may say that they're running there, but the actual factual OEM or aftermarket parts that we get in and test are running way higher tolerances on that. So one of the best things, I would say the best thing about Wear Parts seat opener assembly is that they're guaranteed true. They're the lowest tolerances in the industry. So moving on to the different styles, we've got the Landau ones, Eric.
Right, this is the Landau. This has a single race bearing, 3.5-inch blade, the Neo 200 blade. So you got a very solid blade that's going to go right on that Landau machine. We also have the blade only. If you're putting your own hubs on and just want to replace the blades, we can outfit you there too.
So that blade's 15.8 by 3.5 mil. And then we move on to the Monosem planter opener.
So in the Monosem, we have this heavy duty cast housing, double row bearing, with the heavier blade, the 4mm blade.
Gotcha. Okay. With the Neo 200, that special
Right,
heat treatment.
the same 3-zone heat treat as all of our other Neo 200 blades.
Gotcha. And if you need that bearing, if you want to just replace bearings, we do stock those as well. And then we'll move on to the Sunflower.
Yeah, we have the Sunflower, we have both styles to fit the older pre-2001 that has the offset, or the newer one that has the inline. So we can handle both of those. They're both using the, still using the Neo 200 blade,
Yep.
but just how we set up and with the bearing and the housing.
Gotcha. So that's a 15 by 3.5 mil blade. What's unique about that Sunflower one, I was just noticing, you've got your bearing housing here, but behind the bearing housing, if you can see that, there's a flange. So there's actually two pieces of press form steel there. That's one way to tell a Sunflower seat opener assembly. So you've got the inline ones after 2001, and then you have the offset ones prior to 2001. So two options on the Sunflower, and then moving on to the white seating and planning parts.
And we've got three options on that. We've got the 13.5-inch blade. Again, you have the 3 zones of heat treat to match up there. So it's a very good blade. This is a 13.5 by 3 millimeter. Then we also have the 15-inch blade for the 8000 series. Again, we have that same high quality heat treated blade, 3.5 millimeter thick. This would be our MD assembly, so it's a very good assembly.
Single row bearing, 204 bearing on that particular assembly, and then you move on to the white 9000 series. So this blade here, this blade is 15.8 inches in diameter, and it's 3.5 mil thick, and it's got a cast housing with a double row bearing in it. Very heavy duty assembly. This actually also runs on the precision planning row units as well. So two options there on that. 15.8 by 3.5 with a cast housing. This is for the white 9000 series and the precision planting row units.
Another point to make on all of our housings is that we do machine those to make sure that they're going to fit flat on that blade. And we also machine inside the bore to make sure that those bearings, when they slide in there, you have the same clearance all the way around. You're not trying to put that bearing into something that's running at an angle. So you have the same clearance, the same contact all the way around that bearing.
That's a really good point. I was actually I was in the office the other day, and one of the press operators came in and said, "Mark, come check this out," and took me out to the runout machine, and they showed me the wobble runout on one of these blades they were building, and it was 0.000. Tested out with 0 wobble at all. So again, not all blades are that way,
Right.
but these blades are extremely low run out tolerances. So very passionate, very passionate about this product lineup of wear parts. Well, that wraps up our seating and planting seat opener assemblies for our shortliners. If you have any questions or comments, please call us at 888-4BLADES or go to our website, wearpartsllc.com.